So yeah, a little break on gene therapy. It's my absolute honor to introduce to you Dr. Nathalie Moll, who is the Director General of the European Federation for Pharmaceutical Industries and Association, in short, EFPIA, and for the Americans, Dr. Moll is the counterpart of the pharma, PHMRA in the US. So we're very excited to have you because this is a big moment of a pharma industry, big week to talk to us about the pharma position. So thank you so much, Dr. Moll.
Thank you very much. I don't know about my wig today, but what I do know is that it was really nice to spend the last hour and a half back in biotech. So the problem, of course, with being here is that I want to change jobs. I know I have some members in the audience. I just want to go back to the lab and catch up on the last 29 years that I haven't been in a lab. Really incredible congratulations to everybody, and I look forward to listening this afternoon as well. I'm so glad that you exist and you're doing what you're doing. I can only vaguely imagine how difficult it is from my love for biotech, but this is the way that we then find the solutions for the patients that we as an industry serve. So hats off rather than wig off in my case to you rather than to me. Thank you, Annette, for the invitation. As Annette mentioned, I'm heading the European Pharmaceutical Industry Association that obviously has biotech in it as well. And some of my members I know are here today. And we're the link between the incredible research that you do and then the patients who need it in the end, right? So from small biotechs to multinationals, we're supposed to help in that translation. And sometimes things get lost in translation. And I asked Annette, why am I here today, considering the wealth of incredible science that you're presenting? And she said to me, you're here to make the link. And I think that this is an enormous responsibility that we all share, luckily, to find solutions for the patients that are suffering these terrible diseases. And Europe is in an interesting moment right now. We have a change in the European Parliament. We have a change in the Commission, which for our American colleagues are our departments that write legislation. We have quite a number of elections around Europe. And what does that mean for us? A couple of wars as well. What does that mean for us? It means that we need to decide what we do next in the next 5 years. And the votes in the European Parliament tend to be more, let's say, nationalistic. So there's been a lot of commentary about that. But for me, that also shows an opportunity of doing implementation of things in countries. So Brussels is great at producing legislation at European level, and then perhaps not holding the hands of the member states, the countries who then need to implement it. And the danger in that is that you have countries implementing things in different ways, which makes your lives more difficult. And I thought maybe I'll make the life of scientists easier. If I help to do advocacy and help make sure that the legislation that is in place makes your life easier, I will have helped in some way. The other thing that we do a lot at EFPIA is work on public-private partnerships. So when I'm thinking about linking you to the patient and to the companies, it's obvious that it's not an easy link, a simple link. It takes much more than just a meeting, a presentation. It takes a village. It takes a collaboration. And I know we've already been really successful in the area of NF with a project under what's known as the Innovative Medicines Initiative. We celebrated it, I think, last year at the conference. It's called EU Pearl. I love the name. What is the Innovative Medicines Initiative, which is now called the Innovative Health Initiative? It's a way of combining industry, money from the European Commission, researchers, patients, regulators, getting everybody together to collaborate. And this is the way forward in areas like the one that you're studying, which just in the last 3 presentations reminded me how unbelievably complicated it is to just find a way of delivering something to a cell. Never mind getting a product or a solution at the end of it. So again, I think NF is really the perfect example that we should leverage in the discussions I have, the policy discussions at European level, when we try to remind policymakers that health matters and that it's not enough to discuss about beating cancer plans, you have to go all the way down to how do you do that and how do you facilitate the translation of what you do, the support of what you do, all the way to therapies. Because NF has so many manifestations in the most complex and rare diseases, and I always think that rare diseases, if we can crack rare diseases at any level, we can crack anything. Because they are the most complicated scientifically, they touch the smallest population, and never mind market access, or even getting a patient to somewhere where they may get a therapy. So I always think the community that looks after rare diseases, whether it's scientists, patient communities, industries, are really the pioneers and heroes of modern medicine, because I'm sure that the technology that you're studying and that you're developing, and I'm sure that the models that we're developing, the collaboration models, I'm sure that even the access models that we're looking at for medicines are the ones that then we can apply to personalized medicines, which go slightly further than rare diseases, and then to other incredible new therapies. So the response of just putting a bit more responsibility on your shoulders and mine, but it is something that is really exciting for me and something that we mustn't give up on talking about. So I know it's hard because if I understand correctly, there are lots of researchers in the room, and you know each other and you speak to each other, you can ask each other questions that make sense. But you also need to speak outside of your labs, because there is a need for elevating the visibility of what you do. And I know it's making, the title of this conference is Making Visible What You Do. It's very, very important to make it visible so that policymakers get excited, maybe not as excited as me if they're not biotech nerds, but get excited about the possibilities and understand the needs that you have in terms of supporting your research and then helping you all the way through, helping that research get to products. Breaking the silos, just finding the way to connect the dots that are a little bit all over the place sometimes, but we are all working in the same direction. So I go back to the opportunity. New 5 years in front of us, at least at European level. A lot of legislation being revised, the pharmaceutical legislation being revised, an opportunity to focus the minds on prime examples of where policy action makes a difference. And it does make a difference in the areas you're working in terms of making sure we collaborate. We have a moonshot initiative that we founded as EFPIA with the Rare Disease Organization and a number of other research centers, where we look at that translational research. How can we help move things considerably? And I'd really invite you to get involved and help us help you, because sometimes we're far removed from what you do and what you need, and you're going so fast. There's an opportunity right now to focus minds, and I really think that NF is a great example that could draw them in and help you to make what you do visible and what you need visible. So that would be my message. I know I'm giving an extra job, but I'm sure that together with CTF and everybody else, all the other organizations, we can make a difference together. And thank you again, Annette, for the opportunity of representing the industry in this wonderful event. And I'm going to sit down again and go back to my biotech nerd mode and try not to leave my job. Thank you very much.